Hello students, welcome again. In the yesterday's class, we have already started discussing about the first unit and I introduced what is digital system, okay, and what is the characteristic of digital system. So today we will deal with what is digital logic and signals and number systems, okay, fine. So we will start the discussion with digital logic. Then what is this digital logic? Here the digital logic in our digital system, say for example computers, all are depend on digital electronics. In fact, most of our electronics devices such as we are using in our home and also the electronics devices which are using in the industry are depend on digital electronics to work. Okay. Generally, the name given to electronic circuits that use discrete voltage levels and modeled by logic expressions. It is in the sense any electronic circuit can be modeled by logical expression by its operation. That kind of circuit is known as electronic circuit, and which logic with the circuit is known as digital logic. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. These circuits are building blocks of computers and other devices. This is all about digital logic. Okay, here we have to discuss something about signals, and there are two types of signals are there, like analog signal and digital signal. In both these technologies, the information, say for example audio or video, is transformed into electronic or electric signals, correct? So here if I say audio signal, the audio signal is analog signal and some voltage or impulses of electric signals are termed as digital signal. So let's discuss about what is analog signal. Okay, here the analog signal is continuous signal. You can see in the diagram the signal is continuous. Say for example, the signal may generated through any speaker, microphones or sound devices. That kind of signals is known as analog signal. Now I am talking with you, the signals are generated by my voice, or I am recording these signals through microphones. Though this is a continuous signal, this kind of signals is treated as analog signals. Okay, in that analog technology, it is cheaper as compared to digital signal, and it is a limited size, means very limitation of size will be there for analog technology. Okay, this is all about simple understanding of analog signal. So let's discuss about digital signal. As I told, in analog signal it is a continuous signal, whereas digital signals are discrete in nature. Okay, discrete signals. So in the digital technology, data is converted into binary code and then reassembled back into original form and reception point. Before it, discrete means here the signal is not continuous, that is why it is called as discrete signals. Okay, the examples for these digital signals which are used, like the devices like CDs, DVDs and many more. In the digital systems, use digital circuits that process digital signals which can take one of two values as we discussed yesterday, that is 0 or 1 or low high, like this. This is the way how digital signals can be transformed and treated in a digital technology. You just understand that digital signal is the signal one which is discrete values, it means discontinuous values. That kind of signal is known as digital signals. Always it is high or low, low or high, like this it will be discrete in nature. these kind of signals will be treated as digital signals. I hope this is clear to you. So I will assign you the work to do write advantages of digital systems over analog systems. Okay, write it and submit it in the Google Classroom 3rd semester computer science class. Okay, that is your work. Fine. Now we will discuss the typical block diagram of digital systems. In our example, I am taking the digital system as digital computer. Okay. Here the digital system, in the sense I am taking the example of digital computer. So you are seeing now, this is the block diagram of digital system or digital computer. As you can see, there are mainly 3 units are there. First one is control unit is there, processor unit is there, okay, control unit is there, processor unit is there, and storage unit is there, and one more unit called as input and output unit. Okay, these are the main blocks of digital computer. Okay, the control units which control all the units, like for example processor or arithmetic unit, storage unit, and input output unit, this is controlled by control unit. And the storage unit which stores instruction which are given to the computer as an input, and the program to perform the operation on based on given input, that program is also resides within the storage unit. Okay, and the processor, or simply called as arithmetic or logic unit, which processes the given data and produces and transformed into information and give you the result. Okay, the obtained result will be available through the output unit. That is the work of output unit. Okay, and by combining the main 2 units like control unit and processor unit is termed into CPU. Control unit and processor unit is called as CPU. Generally we see that by combining all 3, such as control, processor and memory unit is treated as CPU, but usually the main 2 blocks of the CPU are control unit, which controls all the other blocks of the computer system, and the processor unit or arithmetic logic unit, which can process the data or which perform many operations like arithmetic logic operations on the given data, is known as processor unit. This is termed as CPU. Okay, and the result which is obtained from the processor, again it stores into the memory. Memory are such as primary memory and secondary memory are there, and that from the memory unit we will get the output as a result in the form of output devices. The output devices are such as monitors, printers, and etc. Likely the input devices like keyboards, mouse, joysticks are used as input devices which are used to give the input to the computer. This is a simple explanation of block diagram of digital computer. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Okay. Without further ado, let's start the discussion on number systems. Here we have many number systems like binary number system, decimal number system, octal number system, and hexadecimal number system, as you can see. Okay, binary number is there, decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. Before this, mainly we have main 2 types are known as non-positional number system and positional number system. We will discuss bit about non-positional and positional. Later classes we are going to deal with decimal, binary, octal and hexadecimal number systems. Okay. Okay. So we will discuss about non-positional number system. Then what is this non-positional number system? Here the non-positional number systems are the number systems which has, or the symbols in that system represents the same value regardless of its position in the number. Say for example, Roman numbers are there. if you want to write 1 in Roman, you just write I, correct? If you want to write 2, again you put one more I in front of it. For 3, you do like this. 4, like this, correct? Here, each symbol represents the same value regardless of its position in the number. We are not bothering about the position of the written number. All symbol represents the same value. And what happens here, the symbols are simply added to find out the value of a particular number, and it is very difficult to perform arithmetic operations on such numbers. Okay, this is about non-positional number system. Fine, we will discuss now what is positional number systems, right? Okay, again in the positional number system we have all those types which I have explained before, like which I mentioned before, like binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal. We will discuss about positional number systems. Okay, here in these positional number systems we use a few symbols called as digits. These symbols represent different values depending on the position they occupy in the number. Then what is the difference between non-position and position? Here we are telling that the different values on the position they occupy in the number. Say for example, generally we used to say I have 64 rupees. Okay, I take the number as 64. In this 64, what happens? 4 has its own place value, as well 6 has its own place value. How? Means 6 is in the place of 10th, means 6 into 10 means 60th position it is. 4 is in the place of ones, means 4. So I will write here 6 into 10 plus 4 into 1, what it 6 into 10 is 60 plus 4 into 1 is 4, 60 plus 4 becomes 64, correct? Here each digit has its own positional value. This is about positional number system. In these positional number systems we have mainly decimal number system, binary, octal, hexadecimal and so on. We will discuss those number systems in the next class. I hope this is clear to you, and your work is to write the advantages of digital signals over analog signals and submit into the Google class. Thank you.